The novel Confession of a Woman, Sentimental Schizophrenia is a work of lucid and heartbreaking introspection, which dives unsparingly into the disturbing world of a woman torn between fidelity and desire, between what she should and what she feels. The title, Sentimental Schizophrenia, is not a clinical reference, but a profound metaphor for an emotional rupture. Living two emotional lives simultaneously, without having society's permission to integrate them. This is not a story about adultery. It is not a classic erotic novel either. It is a brutally honest testament to how some women come to live their desires in secret, because no one has taught them to respect them in the light. Structure: a diary of fragmentation and reconstruction. Divided into 25 confessional chapters, the novel follows a coherent emotional progression. From Hunger, the opening chapter in which the narrator first describes the need for touch as a visceral hunger, to Confession of a Woman, the final letter to the reader, the entire journey is a decompaction of the female psyche caught between desire and shame. The chapters alternate between the erotic episode, e.g., the hotel with silent walls, alone in the elevator with a stranger, the last lover. Emotional reflection, mornings with tea and shame, mother's voice, what I didn't say in therapy. Marital conflict, my quiet husband, my husband begins to feel, choose me or leave me. Feminine identity, the first woman, women like me, my body is not a betrayal. This construction offers a lively but profound rhythm. We are not looking for suspense here, but emotional truths in their rawest form. Central theme: desire that doesn't ask for forgiveness. At the heart of the novel is the question: can you be faithful in love, but unfaithful in the body, and still not be a liar? The narrator's answer is uncomfortable. Yes. She doesn't justify, she doesn't apologize. She doesn't brag about her escapades, but she recognizes them as a vital part of her identity. Desire, in this book, is not decay. It's language. Sometimes, it's the only form in which a woman can say, I'm alive. I still feel. I haven't died in roles. This makes the novel reach a rare level of sincerity, in which sexuality is explored not as fantasy, but as an expression of absences, of lost tenderness, of absent touch, of the dialogue that no longer exists in the couple. Sentimental Schizophrenia, an identity metaphor. The secondary title, Sentimental Schizophrenia, defines the essence of the conflict. The protagonist lives a double life. On one side, she is the calm, cultivated, seemingly loyal wife. On the other, the passionate woman, who lets herself be touched in the silence of hotel rooms, in elevators, in fantasies. This duplicate is not a pathology, but an adaptation. The protagonist cannot reconcile reality with her inner needs. And since no one allows her a whole life, she builds two parallels. She keeps them separate, until they begin to collide. In therapy, in her husband's tears, in her mother's voice, in her mourning shame. In this internal tension, the novel succeeds in an authentic portrait of the modern woman who wants more than the role of mother, wife, support. She wants a body too. She wants fantasy too. She wants truth too. Narrative style. Poetic confession. The narrative is in the first person, and the inner voice is one of almost painful sincerity. The tone is lyrical, but not precious. It is warm, but not sentimental. The metaphors are discreet and sharp, the body like a second skin, the elevator like an altar of instinct, shame like a bitter tea in the morning. The erotic passages are treated with refinement, not as exhibition, but as a ritual. It is not about sex, but about recognition, about what it means to be seen, desired, touched in the right language. This stylistic approach makes the novel emotionally accessible, but profound. You do not feel like a voyeur, but a confidant. The husband, a silent, but essential presence. One of the most interesting characters is the husband himself. Quiet, predictable, gentle. Not a monster, not a traitor, but a man who does not know how to reach his woman beyond the daily ritual. The chapter "One Love You, But You Are Not Enough for Me" is, in this sense, an emotional gem. An imaginary letter to the man she loves, but who doesn't know her. The pain is in the nuance, not in the accusations. When her husband confronts her, "Chap, am I going to lose you?" he does so not with hatred, but with sadness. This narrative choice gives the novel a deeply human dimension. There are no good and bad ones. There are people who don't know how to love together. Women like me. Solidarity in shame. One of the most valuable moments is the chapter Women Like Me. There, the protagonist meets another woman with the same fire. And in that meeting, she discovers that she is not alone. That she is not abnormal. That other women have experienced the same ruptures between desire and obligation, between the body and the norm. This discreet solidarity is an invitation addressed to the readers. You are not alone. You are not broken. You have just been silent for too long. The ending, a choice without excuses. The last chapters, 23 to 25, bring a mature resolution. She tells her husband everything. She does not beg him. She does not justify herself. She offers him the freedom to stay or to leave. The truth is complete. And he stays. But they decide to rebuild differently. With truth, with honest sexuality, with space for desire. In the final letter, Confession of a Woman, the protagonist speaks directly to the reader. She does not ask for forgiveness. She does not preach. She simply admits, I lived between desire and love. And I chose not to choose. This is perhaps the most disturbing and courageous form of freedom. Conclusion. A book worth the discomfort. Confession of a Woman. Sentimental Schizophrenia is not a comfortable book. It is not moralizing. It is not vindictive. It is human, vulnerable, and extremely necessary in a world where women are taught to be ashamed of their own emotional and physical needs. It is a book for women who have ever felt that love is no longer enough for them. For men who want to understand why silence can kill a relationship. And for any reader willing to listen to a confession without a filter, without a mask, without fear. Score, 10 out of 10. For courage, emotional complexity, and the painful beauty of truth spoken out loud.